Right now in the lineup, sending well wishes for an injured Sixers player. Fans show their support and love as police look for the hit-and-run driver who sent Kelly Oubre Jr. to the hospital.
The holiday rush is nearly here. What we're learning today about how many people are going to be hitting the roads and the skies for Thanksgiving and the best times to travel as you're making your plans.
An out-of-this-world experiment, and it all started at Villanova University. How a small but mighty satellite could change everyday life for all of us. Those stories and more on today's edition of The Lineup. It is Monday, November 13th, 2023.
The Lineup is brought to you by TD Bank, America's most convenient bank.
Hi, everyone. I'm ABC 10's Keith Jones.
I'm Erin Coleman. Let's get you up to speed with what you need to know today. The Sixers' new guard back home with a broken rib and other injuries after a hit and run in Center City.
Yeah, police are still looking for the driver. The team and fans are showing some love to Kelly Oubre after the crash sent him to the hospital Saturday night. Sixers tell us he'll have to miss several games. Oubre was at Spruce and Hicks Streets when police say a silver car was speeding and turned, hitting Oubre in the chest with the driver's side mirror. Police tell us the car drove away.
A man is dead after getting hit by a van while changing a tire for someone. Happened at Whitaker and Loudon in Philadelphia's Feltonville neighborhood. The driver ditched the van not far from the scene, then took off. Police still looking for the driver. In Montgomery County, police say a fight between two employees led to a stabbing.
Investigators say the employees got into it at Bar Lucas Saturday night in Conchie. One of them whipped out a pocket knife and stabbed the other. Police arrested the suspect after that person ran from the scene. The victim is expected to be okay. Police didn't say what the fight was about.
If you're making your Thanksgiving travel plans, expect to join big crowds at the airport and on the roads.
Yeah, AAA just released their holiday travel forecast. They predict almost 55.5 million Americans will be traveling for the long Thanksgiving weekend. That's up more than 2% from last year. Most travelers will drive to their destinations, with a projected 49.1 million Americans getting behind the wheel. AAA expects 4.7 million people will fly. That's up more than 6% from last year.
Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving are the busiest air travel days before the holiday and the most expensive. If you're driving on Wednesday, experts suggest you leave early in the morning or after 6 p.m. to avoid the worst of the rush. AAA says Sunday's typically the busiest day to return home, but Monday's also a popular day to fly back to. The number of people traveling by bus, train, cruise ship over Thanksgiving is also up nearly 11% over the last year.
Wow, interesting. Finding any means of conveyance to get to their destinations.
Maybe you celebrate on the boat.
Not a bad idea. All right, showing up for the sweets. When it comes to your holiday party, your guests might have more of an incentive to show up based on the desserts that you serve. That's coming up.
We're back in 30 seconds.
At TD Bank, we see the story behind every transaction.
Nana, Grandma got me all the nights.
Like yesterday, when this grandma went big for Nate's birthday, Nana went big too.
Bouncy castle.
Now I'm a real knight.
But she didn't expect the extra charge.
$75 for air? That overdrew my account.
No.
There's a story behind every overdraft. That's why TD Overdraft Relief gives you an extra day to fix it and avoid the fees. TD Bank. Unexpectedly human.
What is a classroom that is out of this world? A project involving Villanova students, a professor and a grad. They went into orbit on Saturday.
Yeah, NBC 10's Matt DeLucia went to find out what it's doing and how it could eventually impact our daily life.
It's the kind of thing that takes a researcher's heart rate sky high.
This is the first one.
The first study of its kind at Villanova.
It's still hard for me to realize that I'm actually doing this.
It wasn't long ago Peter Glasser was still a grad student in Hashi Sudler's classroom.
When I was taking his blockchain course, it was a difficult topic for me.
It's not exactly easy for most people.
For folks who've never heard of blockchain, I always say, have you heard of Bitcoin? They say yes.
But blockchain is more than that.
We live in a digital age where security matters a lot. And blockchain allows us to secure not just currency, but any information.
If that still seems a little out there,
we'll be in orbit for 4 years.
There's nothing more out there than this.
Ignition and liftoff of SpaceX Transporter 9.
On board this rocket is Hashi and Peter's satellite. This.
You think of a fridge-sized satellite or a car-sized satellite, but nowadays there's no need for that.
Small but mighty. It took 2 years to build, and no room for error.
This is very exciting. Here it is.
The burning questions he's had for years, now flying hundreds of miles above the Earth.
What we're looking at is if you have a blockchain network, you can have one satellite actually transact information with another satellite and to enrich that data. So now we're talking about satellites working in concert.
The experiments will be conducted from this tiny room at Hashi's business, the Internet think tank, run by a former student who just asked his professor for some extra help.
I kept pushing myself and then found myself in a situation where I bit off more than I can chew. But the opportunity was so amazing that you can't just walk away from that.
An opportunity to take education to another orbit.
And here we are now, and it was worth it.
The sky really is the limit.
Confirmation of good orbit.
Matt DeLucia, NBC 10 News.
Pretty cool.
The coolest thing about this, too, is that the work extends beyond the campus of Villanova,
Well, yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
It's really neat that you can have that kind of an impact and launch something into space, and wild.
Yeah, watch it happen.
All right, it's about that time of year when a lot of people like to stay in, watch a movie with their partner, right?
A new survey shows most people won't tolerate somebody who doesn't like the same movies that they do. That survey showed nearly half of people in the dating pool say having different movie tastes is a deal breaker for them. I don't get that.
Right.
More than half said a Netflix and chill kind of night is acceptable on the first date. That survey also showed both women and men are likely to go for a rom-com on a date.
I know that you and your husband are like me and my wife. Like, so Holly does not dig watching a horror movie every night. I could watch a horror movie every night.
Yeah.
Your husband's like that, right?
I hate scary movies.
Right,
he loves them. I haven't seen all the classics and stuff. And I didn't not marry him.
But it still works.
Yeah, you know,
right.
Our relationship is just fine.
Exactly. It's variety, which is nice.
Come on. Every now and then I'll watch what he wants, and every now and then he'll watch a Hallmark Christmas movie, and it works, right?
Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be.
All right, nearly half of all Americans going to a holiday party are not concerned about the people. A survey says they're really just going for the treats and the desserts.
Imagine this. The reason a lot of people said sweet treats like cookies bring them back to childhood days of wonder during the holidays. Eating sweets even beat out opening gifts and playing in the snow when it comes to making people feel like a kid again during the holidays. The average person will eat 26 cookies, 25 pieces of candy, and 12 slices of pie over the holidays.
There's so much into this right here. Like, how offensive is that? Is that you don't come to my party because you don't like what I have for dessert?
Yeah, or you're coming just to use me for my sweet treats?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to come to my party.
Right.
Yeah, don't worry
You're
about
not
the
coming
invite
next year.
Yeah, don't worry about the invite next year. It's fine. I'll keep my kind of treats.
That's right.
I mean, can you imagine
The hard
answering
line.
that? Yeah, for real? I mean,
seriously.
Come on, you come
It's a
for
no-brainer.
the people.
Yeah, that's what the holiday season's all about.
And the drinks too. Like, let's not forget about the drinks.
And the drinks.
That's part of it.
Oh, would you imagine going somewhere no drinks? Oof. Oh, that's a whole different conversation.
That's a whole different story.
All right, this year's 30 Rock Christmas tree is now in place at Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, the 80-foot-tall Norway spruce arrived in New York City Saturday morning. That was after making a trip of about 200 miles from Vestal, New York. The family that donated the tree was at Rockefeller Center to help set it up.
We get to bring joy to millions of people. How many times in our life will we be able to do that?
The tree will now be decorated with 50,000 multicolored LED lights and crowned with a 9-foot Swarovski star. I believe it weighs 400 pounds.
Wow.
Maybe I don't think I made that up. I think it's like really heavy too. Kelly Clarkson going to host the official tree lighting show airing live on NBC 10 on November 29th. And a little closer to us here in Philly, Christmas Village is continuing to take shape. Look at this. Today, the 65-foot tall Ferris wheel arrives at the north apron of City Hall. The authentic German Christmas market at Love Park in City Hall opens to the public Saturday, runs through Christmas Eve. And you just love being out there, supporting the local business owners. A lot of the stuff is actually made in our area. It's just really cool.
Absolutely. And also, too, there's something about the energy around stuff like this. Like, the kids are having fun, the parents are in a good mood, right? Like, it's more like the experience of being in that crowd.
You got
nice.
You got the music kind of blasting, the nice smells of sweet treats and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Maybe you got like a little hot chocolate with a little something
a little hot chocolate to warm you up. It gets you in the mood. And hard to believe that it's about that time. So here we go. Let's get it cranking. That does it for today's edition of The Lineup.
For Erin Coleman, I'm Keith Jones, where we can get NBC 10 News updates right here on the NBC 10 app and catch us weekday mornings from 4 to 7 a.m. Have a great day.
See you guys.